There is still so much silence over the atrocities happening right now in Israel and Gaza. So much silence. And I am seeing people with loud voices. I am seeing them observe what's happening. I know they are aware of what's happening, and they're not using their voices. They're not using their voices to say killing innocent people is wrong. You don't even have to say killing innocent Jews is wrong. Just killing innocent people is wrong. Anything. Say anything. There are 15 million Jews in the world. We need support. Why haven't we had support? Because it is a tale as old as time that the Jews are responsible for all that has gone wrong. I mean, there are so many pieces of bullshit misinformation, misleading, miseducated propaganda since the beginning of time that has made Jews the ultimate scapegoat throughout history. So we're used to this. But that doesn't mean that we should continue to be used to it, and that doesn't mean that you should stay silent. You can still speak up on the issue. This is not an over there issue. Let me say that again. This is not an over there issue. Because if Hamas were set loose in the United States, what do you think would happen? You would be that Israeli mother whose child was just taken and decapitated. You would be that festival goer who gets kidnapped. You would be raped and murdered. Why? Because you're American. You don't know what that feels like because you've been so well protected and because you are not the scapegoat of history who everyone blames, even though when you're talking about colonization, America is at the top of the list. But no one thinks Americans deserve this. It's only Jews. What's that about? Anti-Semitism is built into our history. It's in people's blood. It's genetic at this point. And defending ourselves against violence, against hatred, is just as much a part of being Jewish as the religious aspects of being Jewish itself. This is not an over there issue. And on October 13th, Hamas has called for a global jihad. That means a call to action to kill as many Jews as possible globally. So be careful. This is a direct threat to not only Israelis, but Americans. And if you believe that Hamas is a freedom fighting group who is going to take care of Palestine, who is fighting to liberate Palestine and fighting for anything other than the killing of Jews, you are spreading dangerous propaganda. You are also doing a disservice to the Palestinian people, who deserve better than to be associated with Hamas. My husband lost his cousin in war yesterday. And it's like we can't even grieve properly because we still have such a battle to fight. God forbid, but more lives will be lost. This is what we're dealing with. So while I understand that it's October and everyone wants to post about their pumpkin lattes, we need help and we need voices. A global day of jihad is what Hamas called for. So if you're still calling them freedom fighters at this point, there is no question that you are ignorant and that you are anti-Semitic and that you are misinformed. And if you consider yourself a woke person who cares about human rights at all and you're supporting Hamas calling for a global day of terror in which they would happily kill you as an American too, you're just downright fucking dumb. Israelis are not colonizers. They have been trying to establish a Jewish state to stay safe in since the Holocaust. Israel is the only one who has stepped up to do something at all to help Palestinians, to try to help them in some way. But you have to understand, if Palestinians are run by Hamas and Hamas's entire ideology is around killing Jews, it would be insane for Israel to just open the doors and say, everyone, come on in. There have been attempts to make peace. They don't want peace. They want to kill Jews. That's it. And they don't want to help their people. They don't want to free Palestinians. They just want to kill Jews and have the world be under Hamas. They've made it clear. If they wanted to help Palestinians, they would be giving the billions of dollars that they receive to the people, to their schools, to their systems, to clean water, to helping them fight poverty. They've never done that. They spend the money on weapons and then they go kill Jews. Hamas won't even build bomb shelters for its own people. Palestine, Israel, surrounded by other Arab countries. Who else is helping Palestine? Your belief that this is deserved, your belief that Israelis are not native to Israel is just bullshit. People want to act like Jews began this fight in 1948 as soon as Israel was established and a war broke out the day after. The second Jews tried to claim a single state for themselves the size of New Jersey and smaller. The Jews had been massacred 13 times by Arab people before responding in the 1920s. And I am not pointing out this fact to say, oh, look, they started it. I am just informing you, and you can look it up on your own. It's part of history, that the rhetoric of, oh, Jews just started this unprovoked out of nowhere. And there's just no mention of Hamas. There's no mention of their own oppressive government. And there's no mention of the fact that Jews had already been running and fighting for their lives, massacred for being Jewish for centuries at that point. And Palestinians are being told by Hamas that Jews are responsible for the state of Gaza, that the Israelis are responsible, because obviously Hamas doesn't want the people to uprise against them. They blame it on the Jews. They say it's all their fault. We're on your side. We're fighting for your freedom. Meanwhile, they don't do anything for them. It's all miseducation. I've seen videos since I was a child of what they teach in schools in Palestine. Kill the Jews in nursery rhymes. I've gotten a Jewish education myself. We are not taught to kill Palestinians as part of our education system. That is not what they teach in our schools. Hamas is backed and funded by the government of Iran, who, as you guys remember, a few months back, there were protests in the streets all over the world, Zan Zendegi Azadi, women, life, freedom, because the women and the citizens there are just killed mercilessly by their government. This is who is backing Hamas. When people were out marching with Iranian flags, chanting Zan Zendegi Azadi, we knew we were holding up the flags in solidarity with the people of Iran. And we also knew that everybody there was loudly against the government of Iran. It was a very clear separation as part of the movement. Now, I feel bad because, unfortunately, due to the actions and the comments of some of your less informed members, there is now association between anti-Semitism and this movement, because there are people saying that Free Palestine is Hamas, that we should be celebrating what's happening, right? And I don't think anyone as part of the Free Palestine movement would want that association, just like nobody in the BLM movement, I'm sure, with its original intentions, which I strongly stood behind. And now BLM Chicago is posting pro-Palestinian content with pictures, silhouettes of paragliders, the paragliders that flew into the music festival and killed all of those innocent people in Israel. Okay, so these causes, which are for people who so deserve good causes, are being tainted by misinformation and by people who do not have the cause at the heart of their concern. Likewise, Israelis, Jews, and Americans, we need to be speaking up for the misdeeds of our government and holding them accountable. That is equally important. And many Israelis are not happy with their government, just like many Palestinians are not happy with their government. To my Jewish brothers and sisters, we are with you. We are with you in solidarity. Our hearts are breaking with you. We went and stocked up today on supplies because we were advised to do so, since there was a global call to exterminate Jews. Our temple is sending out emails. So we understand the pain that you're feeling, the pain that our parents and their parents have been feeling, the way that we've been displaced and blamed for the trials and tribulations of so many. But we know that our ideals are ones of love and brotherhood, and we stand for our people. To our friends in Palestine, the innocent people who have lost their lives and their homes, who have been born into this place with no choice of your own, my heart breaks for you. We are with you. We are against Hamas, but we are with the innocent civilians of Palestine who deserve liberation from oppression. We have to stand against Hamas. All of us. Am Yisrael Hai.